Welcome to Out of the Box from Hudson County Community College. In these podcasts, we bring you timely discussions about education, people, programs, events, issues, and solutions that affect the education and enrichment of the people of Hudson County. I'm Chris Reber, president of Hudson County Community College, and your podcast host. In this session, we'll discuss the many workforce development programs available here at the college. Joining me are Lori Margolin, who's our Associate Vice President of Continuing Education and Workforce Development. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Dr. Reber. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure having you. And we're also delighted to welcome Abdelys Pelaez, who is a student at Hudson County Community College, and she's enrolled in our Certified Hemodialysis Technician program. Abdelys, we're delighted to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Reber. It's a pleasure being here.
So this is an exciting part of the college's mission that we're talking about today. And I'd like to start with you, Abdelys. Tell us, if you would, a little about yourself. What brought you to Hudson County Community College, and what are your career aspirations?
Well, what brought me here to Hudson Community College, I saw in my email about a hemodialysis technician. And I was very curious about that program. I did my research, and it was like a light bulb that I was destined to be in this program. And so far, I love it. I enjoy it. And my dream is to just help everyone and also further my career in the healthcare program.
So what does a hemodialysis technician do?
Well, hemodialysis technician, we filter out the blood from the kidneys, and also we take out excess fluids from the patient. And for them to be able to even breathe, because sometimes they won't be able to breathe, and for them to live a long life as much as possible.
And so obviously this work requires a great deal of compassion.
Yes.
And I know, just based on what I have heard about you, is you really are a caring person, aren't you? It's important to you to give back and be helpful to people.
Absolutely.
You were telling me before we began that your family has a background in healthcare. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, my great-grandmother, she was a nurse, and my grandmother was also a nurse, and my mother was a nurse as well. So I think from my family from the past, it just got to me that I like to help people, make them feel better, and to live a long life, like a long, comfortable life.
And thank goodness for people like you, because, all of us know that when we're in a really challenging healthcare situation, it's the people on the front lines, the people that are with us, that make all the difference. And I think as a society, we've never been more aware of that than we are now with our experience during the pandemic and our great appreciation for all the healthcare folks on the front lines.
Thank you.
That really make a life-changing difference. So we salute you, and we're proud to have you here in the HCCC family. Tell us a little about the program. How long have you been taking classes, and when will you finish?
It's a 14-week program, and I believe school is for 12 weeks, and then the rest of the weeks is clinicals. And you'll do your clinicals in DaVita.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're done with your hours, they write down a recommendation so you could take the bonnet and to be certified as a CHT technician.
Fantastic. And do you have any goals beyond the work you're going to be doing? Longer term, do you have other aspirations in the healthcare or related industries?
Yes, I do.
What do you hope to do?
Be an X-ray tech.
Oh.
Do respiratory therapy. And last but not least, get a BA.
Good for you. And Lori, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about how the work you and your colleagues do in our Division of Continuing Education and Workforce Development relates to the rest of Hudson County Community College's mission. In other words, someone like Abdelys, who begins a technical program, can use that, I believe, as an entree to credit-bearing programs. Can you speak a little bit about that?
So yeah, we're very proud to offer these workforce programs to members of the community. And we see the programs that we offer as a pathway. So as a pathway to get certified, as a pathway to get a good job and start a good career, but also a pathway to a degree, to an associate's, bachelor's, whatever somebody dreams to have and meet their goals.
So in the case of Abdelys, if she decides to go on and pursue an associate and a bachelor's degree eventually, what pathway might she be on stepping from this program into an associate degree program?
There are lots of choices, and there are transferable skills in whatever you choose. I guess the most direct would be something in the health sciences area, where we have many different kinds of programs. A radiography program, I heard her mention the X-ray technician, and then to go on from there.
This is such an important part of what we do at Hudson County Community College, and really in the community college sector. What we're talking about here is the opportunity for students who have a very specific skill that they would like to obtain and develop in order to seek immediate employment with family-sustaining wages. And in the old days, when I was younger, that is a while ago, that used to be sort of a single pathway. So if someone ventured into what we used to call, let's say, a VOTEC program or a highly technical program, a proprietary program that led to a specific occupation, that was all well and good. But if you wanted to then eventually move on and earn, let's say, an academic degree, and this is the old terminology, not the new, you had to start over. None of the work that you had done in this technical area, which often is highly specialized, it provides industry-recognized credentials and skill sets. None of that would count. You'd have to start all over in an academic program. Hence, many students never did. They would wind up on sort of a single street with a dead end. Now, and I think this is a wonderful entree to the work that you're doing, it's quite the opposite, isn't it? Students can pursue their dream short term, but like in the case of Abdelys, the work she's doing to prepare to be working in hemodialysis will also eventually, if she chooses, provide her advanced credit or a place in a credit degree seeking pathway, right? So that she doesn't have to start over. She'll have already essentially been granted so many credits that recognize the skill set she already has, and she's already started in a degree-seeking pathway of her choice.
That's absolutely right. And I think you said, a number of really important things that are features of our program that we make sure that we build them in. And one is to have these pathways. So this program could be a beginning, it could be a middle, but there are places to go from there depending on your career goals, that they're what we call on-ramps and off-ramps.
Yes.
So you can take a program and then work for a while and then come back and pick it up where you left off. I think another important feature is the credentials. The program that Abdelys is in gives you the Bonnet credential, which is a national credential. And it's something that you can take with you anywhere. And it's very clear what skills you've learned when you have that credential. So it makes it easier to make that transition from the workforce program to a degree-seeking program, because we know you've done this is equal to X number of credits, and that's what you're awarded upon entering the degree program.
And then further, if Abdelys has, let's say, several years of experience, that experience coupled with your life experience could also lead to recognized credit for prior life learning, for workforce skills that you gain on the job, working with others. So it's a fascinating set of possibilities. It's almost like a puzzle. There are many pieces, and what we're increasingly doing is help students link those pieces to move as far as they choose to eventually, and to be recognized for the work they've done, which might not be initially in a traditional degree program. It might be, we have lots of students who are, 30% of our students are over the age of 35. So we have lots of students who have life experience that they've learned in leadership positions, in the PTA, and in civic engagement, in their own careers. And there are ways for us to assess skills that they have acquired in that life experience and give them advanced credit on a pathway of their choice. Then the other interesting thing about this is it's almost like the PATH train, isn't it? So when I want to go from my home in near Harrison to Times Square, I have to take the PATH train to Journal Square. Then I have to get off, go right across the tracks, and get on another train that takes me to 33rd Street. We're doing that kind of pathway connection with other institutions. So we are assiduously working with our four-year and graduate college, sister college institutions, as well as K through 12, and making sure that our pathways that we're talking about link with their pathways. So you can start in hemodialysis. Eventually, you may decide you're ready to pursue an associate and bachelor's degree on a health career pathway, perhaps pursue our associate degree in health services, for example. And then that program is linked with a whole number of four-year health-related programs at a variety of four-year institutions who will take all of the credit earned here that started maybe in life experience and non-credit, and then continued on to our associate degree, and then all that credit will transfer into a bachelor's degree pathway, in this case, at another institution that we're partnered with. And so I think one of the really exciting things, and this is all as a backdrop to you, Lori, so I'm going to get to you now, but one of the really exciting things about where we are in the community college sector, and specifically at Hudson County Community College, is we see ourselves at the nexus, if you will, of what I'm going to call a K through 20 educational pathway or set of pathways. It's a whole interrelated set of pathways. We are, by virtue of our mission of meeting students where they are and helping students move forward to reach their goals, we are working with our colleagues in K through 12, and increasingly we're able to get students interested from 8th grade on in pursuing college coursework. They can start that while they're in high school, and they can actually do things in high school that lead to college credit. And in fact, this past May, 31 Hudson County high school students graduated high school with an associate degree from Hudson County Community College, all at the same time. That's phenomenal. That's a breakthrough that's life-changing and transformational, because those students can now go on and immediately out of high school begin their junior year at one of our partner sister four-year institutions. So on the one side, we're working before students get to us to providing them options for beginning their college education very early. And then we're giving students options when they leave us to advance in four-year and graduate programs. We have lots of students that go on and earn their doctorates. And so we're sort of in mission control in a way of pulling together the trains and pathways from K-12 through our institution and on to the pathways that can take a student as far as they want to go.
I think it's so wonderful that we acknowledge that everybody doesn't start in the same place and that everybody's life situation is different. And so here at the community college, we have all of those options so that you can find a place that works for you.
Here at Hudson County Community College, we really are championing our role as a partner. So we don't view K-12 or other colleges and universities as competitors. We view them as partners. And we believe that we have an educational imperative to work together with others and to the fullest extent possible, not provide unnecessary duplication of what folks do well, but try to provide excellence in meeting the unique needs that we can meet, and then linking those to other institutions so that various institutions have win-wins. We win, our partners institutions win. Most important, students and their families win.
And employers in our area win as well, because it's much more efficient to complete your education in this way, and they're getting employees who have the skills that they need for the jobs of today.
Do you have any thoughts about this, Abdelys? Have you thought about this as it relates to maybe your future, about how we can link you to other programs long term?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have any thoughts about where you might want to do your bachelor's degree?
Either NJCU or St. Peter's.
NJCU or St. Peter's, so are two of our sister institutions. We are increasingly working almost as a family in higher ed with NJCU and St. Peter's and other area schools. But those are two great examples. So in the case of NJCU, we are working on a variety of programs. We call them 3+1. This provides, well, let me explain one. A couple of years ago, we developed a partnership with NJCU in nursing. This could be of interest. I don't think nursing is exactly where you want to go long term, but it's certainly related. Students who are enrolled in our associate degree program in nursing can do that here. And then if they want to immediately move on to their BSN, they can do that here too, because the NJCU faculty and staff, our colleagues, come here and they offer the junior and senior year courses right here. So our students don't leave HCCC, and we work together at the first 2 years and second 2 years, and the credits seamlessly transfer. And in many cases, our faculty actually teach the junior year courses that are owned, so to speak, by the four-year institution at our lower tuition rates. And then students finish the four-year degree in their senior year at our sister institutions' tuition rates. We're working on a second program like that with NJCU right now in our Culinary Conference Center. So the possibilities are endless. And I want to now come to your area, Lori, and have you speak a bit more about it. I have often said, and I couldn't be more sincere in saying it, the leadership you provide and your colleagues provide in what we call our Division of Continuing Education and Workforce Development is the entrepreneurial engine of Hudson County Community College, because you are out in the community working with businesses, creating partnerships that then lead to all these possibilities. Tell us a little bit about the range of things that you do in your division.
Well, thank you, Dr. Reber, for that. It's really a broad range of what we do, anywhere from apprenticeship programs where a student can earn while they learn and get on-the-job experience, to our healthcare programs, which the hemodialysis technician program, this is the first year that we're offering that, so that's a new program. We offer several other programs as well. We work with the construction trade unions to provide apprentices and journey workers credits towards their associate's degree. We are working with, not working with, but we provide programs, education, degree and workforce programs for individuals who are incarcerated and individuals who were previously incarcerated, the reentry population. I could really kind of go on and on.
Let's talk about each briefly. Okay. Tell us more about, can you give us some examples of apprenticeships that you are offering in partnership with others?
Yeah, so our apprenticeship programs, we have them in two basic areas, advanced manufacturing and healthcare programs. And they really span a really wide range in terms of the types of training. So you can go for a 2-month training as a certified nurse assistant, as an apprentice, or you could be in an advanced manufacturing program where you go for your associates and then your bachelor's degree. So there's really a wide variety. We have One program which we believe is a very high quality apprenticeship program with Eastern Millwork, who is an architectural woodworking firm based here in Jersey City. They have a 5-year program. At the end of 5 years, you have an associate's, a bachelor's, you're earning $70,000, and you have no college debt. I mean, it just doesn't really get better than that.
So that's an exciting whole array of programs that you do, but it's one of only many. And in fact, let me ask you about the work that you're doing right now with JP Chase.
This is one of our programs that we have that is, it came about to help individuals who were impacted by the pandemic, which we all were, but those who maybe lost their jobs or really had significant impacts. So JP Chase gave us a very large grant earlier this year to address the systemic workforce challenges that were presented as a result of the pandemic. And the program has several different components to it, one working with students to access benefits and one-on-one financial counseling, working with alumni who are unemployed or underemployed to connect them. We have our healthcare programs, which we talked about today. Those programs, as a result of that grant, there is no tuition for the students. So we fully fund that through this grant program. And there are 4 programs that are part of that: the Certified Nurse Assistant, Patient Care Technician, Pharmacy Technician, and the Hemodialysis Technician program. And then the last part of that is working with employers to deepen our engagement so that we can identify in-demand skills, specifically in the tech and finance career pathways, and align them with our curriculum. So just what you were speaking about before, we're doing that work up front. So we're setting it up so that our students are successful at the end, because employers will know this is somebody that's going to have the skills that I need for my business.
And through this particular program, JP Chase is also helping us teach things like literacy to our current students and actually help students that are already enrolled in programs here, aren't they?
It really supplements the support services that are currently provided, which are many. But this is one-on-one financial counseling, speaking to the student. What are your goals? Do you want to buy a car? You want to save for that? How do you do that? How do you increase your credit score? How do you reduce your debt? So it's really, I think, tremendous benefit to our students.
There are 2 other things I want to talk about briefly. One is, in addition to this grant that your division has played a major role in, you have facilitated other important grants that are opening doors for people. One of them is our first ever NSF grant. Can you tell us just briefly a little about that?
It's strengthening community colleges and workforce partnerships. So it's, again, that coming together of education and work, specifically in the construction management area. So the grant is, the goals are to bring in a diverse group of students who will graduate with this construction management degree. And along the way, they will get work experience. We'll connect them with employers in the area. So we'll do something similar to what I mentioned with the JP grant, where we'll meet with employers in the construction management field and make sure that what we're teaching is what they need. Our faculty in that area are from industry, so I imagine that we're doing that already, but just strengthening those ties so it makes connections for our students.
And it's a huge growth industry, and so what we're allowing students to do is enter that industry and really perhaps have the opportunity for careers that they might not ever have envisioned. I want to ask you about 2 more things. One is the work that you're doing with unions, specifically the electrical unions and the operating unions.
We're working with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 164, and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, providing both their apprentices and their journey workers credits towards a degree. So based on their experience, we are awarding credits, which is exactly what you were speaking about before. So it ranges anywhere from 22 to 30 credits, which is substantial.
Half of an associate degree.
Exactly. So it really gives them a head start to do that. So we're working with both of them, very, very promising work. They're very committed to it, and their membership is interested.
And now, so this is huge. So, in these union fields and others, in the trades, Boilermakers, pick the union, there are apprenticeship programs. Students are required to become journeymen. And so the union offers really very high quality, industry recognized training offered by the union that then allows someone to become a journeyman, a member of the union, and have all of those career opportunities. But until recently, if you wanted to earn an academic degree, you had to start all over, right? How silly. So you've got technical workers getting very specialized training to a high level of skill in their area of expertise. And then let's say they may go on and want to start their own business. If I'm a plumber, maybe I decide, well, I want to own a plumbing business. But that requires other skills. That requires business skills. And often it requires a bachelor's or a master's degree. Now, in partnership with the unions, they don't have to start over. They already have finished half an associate degree when they finish their journeyman apprenticeship. And it opens a whole new set of opportunities. And finally, and this is so important to the college and to our community, you're providing leadership to begin to provide educational programming for incarcerated individuals so that they can begin their education while still incarcerated, but also reentry individuals. So when incarcerated folks are released from jail, we're working in partnership with others to help them gain credentials and skill sets that will lead to family-sustaining wages, which is, often these, if you think about our criminal justice system, which is not a model in the world, high recidivism rates. The key that reentry folks face is when they get out, can they get a good job with family-sustaining wages? And education's required. Tell us about the leadership, the groundbreaking leadership you're offering to this community.
Thank you. Yeah, so we are following the same principles as we just talked about before in terms of starting where the individual is at, and we're providing them the opportunity to choose one of two tracks initially, so either to pursue a degree or a workforce program, depending on what their needs are and their goals are. And then we are making sure that we provide guidance in terms of jobs where the background is not going to hold them back in those careers. So we're making sure up front. And we're working with great partners for both of those programs. Both of them are launching in this September. I don't know if you want me to talk specifically about each one.
No, let's just really briefly. So you're with a grant and a new partnership with what is the community agency? Reintegration.
Hudson County Housing and Community Reintegration.
They are helping us begin to educate up to 55 inmates this fall in the Hudson County Correctional Facility.
That's right.
We're also working with former New Jersey Governor Jim McGreevey, who is president of the New Jersey Reentry Corporation, to become the principal educational partner in a renovated facility that in Kearney that is going to be wholly dedicated to training and retraining the reentry population.
Yep.
And you're offering both credit and non-credit.
That's right.
So these are life-changing opportunities. And the reason we provide them is you. It's our students. And Abdelys, we are so honored to have you here. And we are inspired by you, by the steps you are taking in your own career, but also by the steps you're taking to serve others. And you'll always be a proud member of the HCCC family. Please remember that.
Thank you.
We have a way of closing these podcasts. I always ask my guests, we didn't prep you for this, so this will be truly genuine. If you could describe your experience with Hudson County Community College in one word. If I ask you what one word describes how you feel about Hudson County Community College, what would that be? What would your word be, Abdelys?
Empowering.
Empowering. Lori?
Opportunity.
Empowering opportunity, and my word is always inspirational. Our conversation today inspires me. I thank both of you for being with me, and thank you all for joining us for this session of Out of the Box. We hope you'll visit our website, hccc.edu, and share this podcast with your family, members, and friends. And please stay safe and well. Thank you.